Buddhapadana, the tradition of the previous excellent deeds of the Buddhas. Now with a pure mind attend to the tradition of the previous excellent deeds of the Buddhas, the innumerable kings of righteousness, replete with 30 perfections. To the supreme enlightenment of the best of the Buddhas, to leaders of the world together with their orders, I bow down, paying homage with joined hands. In the Buddha realm, as many as are there the numerous jewels, both in the heaven above and on the earth below, I brought all to my mind. There on a silvery ground I built a palace, many-storied, jewelled, raised high to the sky, having ornamented pillars, well executed, well divided and arranged, costly, a mass of gold, decorated with arched gateways and canopies. The first story was of lapis lazuli, shining like a bright piece of cloud. There were the presentations of lotuses and lilies strewn over in the excellent golden story. Some of the stories was of corals, some having coral lustre, some shining red, while others, resembling the Indagopika colour, illumined the quarters. They had doors, portals and windows well divided and arranged, 4 networks of Vedikas and a delightful perfumed enclosure. And they were provided with the excellent peaked roofs, blue, yellow, red, white and bright black, and decorated with 7 varieties of jewels. They had devices of lotuses of graceful lux, and were beautified by the figures of beasts and birds of prey, filled with the presentations of planets and stars, and adorned with those of the moon and sun. They were covered over with a golden netting, joined with the golden tinkling bells, and the lovely golden garlands on them sounded musically by the force of the wind. Festoons of banners raised on them were made lovely by various colours, crimson, red, yellow and gold-coloured. Diverse, numerous, many hundreds were the slabs made of silver, of jewels, of rubies, and also of emeralds. The palace was resplendent with various beds, and covered with soft Benares fabrics, rugs, silk made of the Dukala fibre, china cloth, fine cloth, fibrous garments, whitish garments, and all this manifold covering I spread out there in my mind. Adorned with jewelled peaked roofs in different stories, the palace stood firm, bearing torches shining like gems. The wooden posts and pillars and the beautiful golden gates, made of gold brought from the Jambu River, of excellent wood and also of silver, shone forth. Divided and arranged into many breaks and resplendent with doors and crossbars, the palace had on both sides many full vases filled with red, white and blue lotuses. All the Buddhas of the past, the leaders of the world, together with their orders and disciples, I created in their natural beauty and appearance. Entering by that entrance, all the Buddhas, together with their disciples, the circle of the elect, sat down on golden seats. The preeminent Buddhas that are now in the world, those of the past and present, I brought them all into the mansion. Many hundreds of Pacceka Buddhas, self-enlightened and invincible, those of the past and present, I brought them all into the mansion. Many wishing trees, divine and earthly there were. I procured all garments and covered them each with 3 robes. Filling the beautiful jewelled bowls, I offered them ready-made food, hard and soft, eatable and savoury, as well as drink and meal. Procuring divine garments, I provided them with robes of fine cloth. I entertained the whole circle of the elect with best food and the 4 sweet drinks of sugar, oil, honey, and molasses. Entering the jewelled chamber, they, like lions lying down in caves, lay down in a lion's posture on costly beds. Mindful, they rose and sat down cross-legged. They gave themselves up to delight in meditation on the way of all the Buddhas. Some preached the doctrines, some sported by their supernatural power, some who had gained mastery over and developed the higher psychic perception applied themselves to it, while others, numbering many hundred thousands, worked transformations of themselves by their supernormal power. The Buddhas, too, questioned other Buddhas on points relating to omniscience, and comprehended by their knowledge matters deep and subtle. The disciples questioned the Buddhas questioned the disciples, they questioned each other, to each other did they explain. The Buddhas, the Pacceka Buddhas, the disciples and attendants, enjoying thus their delightful pursuits, rejoiced at the palace. May they hold over their head each an umbrella, embroidered with gold and silver nets and gems, and fringed with nets of pearls. May there be awnings resplendent with golden stars, variegated, and having flower wreaths spread over them. May they all hold them over their head. Be the palace laid out with wreaths of flowers, fragrant with rows of perfumes, strewn over with festoons of garments, and bedecked with strings of jewels. Be it strewn over with flowers many variegated, incensed with sweet perfumes, marked with 5 finger marks of perfumes, and covered over with a golden covering. On 4 sides be the tanks covered over with lotuses, red and white and blue. Be that these, having lotus pollens coming out, appear in golden hue. All trees be blossomed around the palace, and let them drooping themselves sprinkle perfumed flowers over the mansion. Let the crested peacocks dance there, divine swans utter melodious sounds, let the Karavika birds too sing out, and the flocks of birds be on all sides. Let all drums be sounded, all lutes be played, let all varieties of music go on around the palace. As far as the Buddha realm, and above the horizons of the world, magnificent, lustrous, faultless and jewelled, let the golden let